Hmm. It's giving shade.
It's giving dirty.
It's giving what if. Hey listeners, before we jump in today, I would like to share a disclaimer. The views and opinions in this podcast episode are 100% strictly my own. They do not reflect any professional organization, business, or board with which I am associated. The content of this podcast is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Let's jump in. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of It's Giving What If. It's me, the one, the only, Albs, and today I'm joined by a very, very spicy, special woman from California. Um, Welcome everybody, Berta, to the show. Hi Berta, welcome.
Hi. Thank
Hi.
you.
I was gonna say the Queen of Picaronas, but we'll get into your title later
Yes.
of Picarona. But how
Yes.
are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. And thank you so much for having me in your show.
Of
I'm
course.
honored. Thank you.
Yeah, like I just love you. Like you're just such a genuine, like kind person. Like we're always talking about how like we love you. Your heart's just so beautiful, and you're like such a good human. Like, and that's rare to find in this world. Like it really genuinely is. You
Thank
know.
you. Thank
Of
you so
course.
much.
Of
Thank you.
course. Yeah. So we were kind of starting to talk about like Hawaii. I got back from Hawaii and it was beautiful. Like it felt like it was another country. Like I didn't really like it didn't feel like the US, you know,
Oh,
like
it felt
and
like paradise.
yes, it did. And I had never been, but like my brother's like, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it. And so I mean it literally was just like what I needed. But like, you know, one of the funny things is we went snorkeling in one of these beaches, but like the beaches had so much rocks that like my feet are all like cut up, my legs have all these like scabs, like no one
It
told
was
us
pretty
that.
rough.
Yeah, it literally beat us up. So, but
Yes, I bet. But it was warm water,
yeah,
climate was perfect. I
oh yeah,
mean, it was
like
humid.
yeah, like I would say it was even better than when we went to Miami, honestly. Like the
Good.
beach in Miami was like it was nice, but I think when we went there was just like a lot of like basura in the water, you
Of
know, and
course,
so
yes.
like it was not
And I think
like
the timing as well, because you guys went I think there was an event that was going on right before, I
yeah,
think it was. So,
I
like
think so.
so it can get really dirty really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there was
It's party city, so
when there was like some kind of like algae something that had like gone like I don't know. It was just a combination of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
but Hawaii
was it a luminous one or it wasn't? It wasn't. It wasn't like the one that glows in the dark. No. Oh,
no,
that
no.
would have been a free show.
Yeah, I know. I would love to go to one of those. Yeah. I think Mexico has like those
Yes.
bioluminescent ones, and
Yes,
that
they
would be
do.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
That's the
they
next trip I want to go on. Is probably somewhere in Mexico.
oh, and Puerto Rico as well. They also
Puerto
have
Rico.
it.
Yes, we were actually just talking about Puerto Rico today.
It's fun. It's always fun. I've been. It's
Yeah.
fun. Yes, I did Airbnb, which was the best because
Yeah.
I stayed where all the locals stayed and we rented a car and so it was really nice. It was super safe. We felt safe all the time.
Oh,
There's
good.
certain places we can't go, but of course, you're a tourist, so you might as well listen to them. Stay out of those
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
and then you'll be safe. I've been
Yeah.
like 4 times. So
Wow.
I
Okay.
loved it. But the first time, hotel, and it was at Isla Verde, and second time was at Old San Juan. Same thing, hotel. And then after that, Airbnb came around, and we're like, it
Yeah.
was kind of scary because it was, when Airbnb started
Yeah.
happening, but fairly safe.
Oh,
Fairly safe.
good.
I
Good.
loved it. Loved it.
Oh,
Didn't
nice.
want to come back. I was there for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely need to go there. I would love it. I feel like Puerto Rico is just like a very magical place. Like,
It is, and it's a lot cheaper.
okay, I love that.
Way cheaper than Hawaii. I mean,
Yeah.
and Miami is also expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
it's worth it, but I mean, if you don't mind the extra flights
Yeah.
or two,
Yeah.
it's great. It's fun and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Like we literally had 4 drinks, like 2 drinks each, and like they were like over $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, wow.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
And
I'm not drinking anymore.
okay, yeah. I'm like, I'm drinking water, but you know, water is expensive there too.
Oh,
So
of course, because it's bottled. So you have to drink the bottled one because you don't know if it's safe. You don't want to
yeah,
get sick while you're traveling. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's what happens when we get old, right? That's what happens to me.
You have to
No
think about
tap of
all
water unless it's here.
the
Yeah, you got to be careful.
exactly. So one of the things that we like to start with is like
Mhm.
a bitch session, just kind of getting like our bitching out of the way, what's been bothering us. So, you know, like I like to just ask my guests, like, what is something that's been hella annoying for you here lately? So what has that been for you?
I want to say right now I've been trying to. I'm in the healing process from my past relationship, and it was I was married to my boyfriend of 12 years, and then we got married after 12 years, and it lasted about 3 months before I found out he was cheating on me.
Mm,
So of course I had a lot of things that I had to work on after the
yeah.
relationship. And once I broke up, the relationship, the marriage, the healing process began, and it has been about 3 years, and
Mhm.
it's a process.
Yeah.
And right now I'm in the middle of a restraining order because my ex-husband just keeps on trying to come back to my life, and it's not fair,
Yeah.
it's not fair for myself. I
Right.
mean, he's coming to my safe space,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not only did I have to go through the legal process of it, which is, after having trauma, I suffer from
Mhm.
PTSD.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of things are brought back in the
Mhm.
moments of, when he
Mhm.
comes back because I don't want to see him anymore. So
Yeah.
it's definitely I'm mad at the system. I'm mad at
Yeah.
him, at the
Yeah.
system, just because it doesn't have to take this long
Yes.
for something to be done
Right.
because what could happen next?
Yeah.
We don't know. Mentally speaking, obviously he's not right.
Right.
So we need to take care of mental health. And it
Yeah.
all goes back to that first circle of everybody thinking of mental health, but it's
Yeah.
essential. We need to take care of it, both
Mhm.
from from uh, the victim and the person who's hurting, and then because
Yeah.
then and at the end we both did the same thing. At the end of the day, it was
Mhm.
toxic. Once you get
Mhm.
into a toxic relationship, it just keeps going. It doesn't get better.
Yeah.
Someone needs to end it. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
Thankfully, it was me, and it was at the right timing as well, which was
Right.
it was God's timing. I
Yeah.
think. I think
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
So right
Yeah.
now, I think that's what I'm working on. I'm working on has brought back things that I thought I'd worked on.
Mhm.
Like not being angry towards him, and
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
has been brought back, and I have to deal with that anger that
Yeah.
I thought I had dealt with.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm single, and I don't want to bring that into my next relationship. So
Yeah.
I got to work on
Nope.
that.
Nope. Nope. These boys don't want to deal with that, and you don't want to get it into the
Neither do
relationship. So,
I.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
working on it myself. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
can definitely see how that can be pretty annoying. Definitely.
absolutely
When
yes,
it's like one of those things like you're trying to grow and heal, but then like his negative energy is trying to pull you back into this space of like
yes,
hurt and unhealing, you know. So
and
yeah.
back and forth of
Mhm.
something that we had, I had already settled, and I am already done and okay with, and in the sense of I'm already processing things, and I'm already healing, and I'm already doing myself, and it has taken me 3 years to get to where I am today, but
Mhm.
it has not been easy, you know
Yeah,
so it's not fair.
right,
Of
right.
course.
I don't blame you. And it's hard, you know, those relationships are like you invest so much time, love, and energy, and like when they get really sour like that, it's just hard to just be like, well, I'm done and I walked away. No, you really have to like heal and like grow as an individual from that like whole disaster, you know?
Absolutely. And you have to do it. You have to have closure, however closure means and looks for you,
Hmm.
because sometimes you're never going to have the apology you always want it. So you gotta you gotta close it your own way, but you gotta close it because I think that I've learned that instead of suppressing my feelings, I gotta feel, I gotta hurt, I gotta cry, whatever it is that I gotta do. But I gotta go through my emotions because if I suppress them, they're just gonna come back in the worst moments.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
gotta work on them regardless, you know.
Yep.
And as you work on yourself, you become more aware of all of this. And I think for me, my divorce was a radical awakening,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
which
Definitely.
is great that it happened early on in my life.
No, and the thing is, like you learn to heal to be a better version of yourself, not only for you, but also for the next stage of your relationships that you have. And so, like, it really is all beneficial to keep learning and growing and healing and being better versions of ourselves.
And to know that you can feel, it's beautiful. However, and whatever that is beautiful, regardless of how it is and how it looks. You gotta go through it. You
Mhm.
gotta go through it. You can't keep it down. It'll turn into a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, for me, what's been like really annoying, and actually, like, I kind of just like uh was looking at this a little bit earlier, was like,
Yes.
so, I'm a huge like Scream fan or whatever, and like the new Scream movie that's being worked on, apparently they dropped I don't know if you're familiar with the main actress that's in this new like revision. Her name's Melissa Barrera. She's
Mm-mm.
she's done a lot of like, she's Latina, she's done a lot of like shows, she's one of the main characters.
Go.
Um they dropped her from the next movie because supposedly, like, there's like, it hasn't 100% been confirmed, but I'm almost
Right.
positive this is true. But
Mhm.
like, she's been posting a lot of like free Palestine, like
Okay.
support for Palestine, and so the studio dropped her. And so like, I'm just like, really, y'all, like, this is bullshit. Like, and then I just went down a rabbit hole of watching all these videos about Palestine and like
Right.
all the death and like all the
Oh,
just like disaster that's going on there, the poor kids that are losing their lives, and
devastating.
like nobody's doing nothing. And then like for them to be like, "Oh, you're going to show support to this country that obviously needs it," and like they're going to drop her for it. Like, that is ridiculous.
It's just it's politics. It's
Mhm.
disgusting. It's
Mhm.
disgusting that it gets to this level where you can't even express yourself because you're gonna get censored, because you're gonna get canceled. And what about freedom of speech? People have to listen to the other side of the story. There's
Yep.
always two sides, and no one gets to see the other side.
Yeah.
And the news are devastating, of course.
Yeah.
They're the horrendous. It's horrible, and we can't just not think about it just
Right.
because it's not happening here.
Exactly.
We have to address it, and it's gonna come to us regardless. And if we don't come to it, if we don't address it, it'll come back.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean, we
yeah.
do,
When
and
that's
that's
the
so
thing, is like,
unfair.
it's so sad that it's just like, this is like, like you said, it becomes a political thing, but it's like a human rights thing. Like, no human doesn't matter what country they live in or where they were born. No human should have to wake up and be fearful that their kids are going to be bombed, or as a kid be afraid that you may not live, or you might see your siblings like being like, I think they were talking about like a lot of these kids having to have these amputations because
Yes.
they've been blown up, and like there's no anesthesia in that country
No,
for
and right there on
them.
the spot, and
Yeah.
people are, and they're deceased left and right, and they're no place is safe,
Yeah.
literally.
Hmm.
Hospitals are getting bombed left and right. They don't care at this point.
Yeah.
It's unhumane what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Exactly.
And definitely something needs to be done. And
Yeah.
of course, and it's horrible that it has, and of course, this is just her right now because they can, and it's
Yeah.
going to go on and on to, you know bigger and other people. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, because they can do it.
Oh yeah.
It's the media. They can do whatever they want. They can
Yeah.
manage it however they like it.
Yeah. That's so true. But I do hope to see like more support and like some kind of resolution. I don't know what the resolution at this point would be, honestly, but like something needs to be done. And I feel bad because I like like I said, I went down this rabbit hole and I just was like bawling. And I was like, oh my god, this is like it's so sad because like we aren't affected directly because we're
Right.
like here in the US and we don't see it. We just see news articles here and there or YouTube
That's a good one.
videos.
Yeah, and if we want to, because
Right.
we choose to or not. I stream. I don't have cable because it's overwhelming for
Right.
myself. It can get to you. It's you turn on the news, and most of the times now they're turning into they give you somewhat of good news, but mostly is sad news and bad news, and
Mhm.
it's depressing.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
eh, So it's horrible that they can
Yeah.
manage that too. You know.
Right, right. And then and we have the like you said, the privilege to be like, oh, I don't want to watch this. And like it's not a reality for us because it doesn't happen to us. But these people live this day in and out. So, like I definitely started feeling some guilt about that. But like, I definitely want to see where I can help and educate myself more and like
Right.
what are things I can do to make sure that I'm supporting it at some degree, because like I know that like it's gonna take more than just me, but I know that's how it starts. It's just like little ripples of change.
Right, one person. It starts with one person and it goes a long way. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. All right, so this segment it's my what if segment. So I like to ask my guests what if questions. So I have three for you.
All
The
right.
first one: what if a magic potion allowed you to instantly swap lives with your favorite celebrity for a day? Who would that be, and what would you do?
Oh my goodness. Ah, celebrity. Oh my goodness. That's a good one. Um Gosh. Can I do someone who's not alive?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think it would be Juan Gabriel.
Okay.
I have always looked up to him, and he means a lot to me from my childhood to my deceased
Mhm.
family members. It brings. I think it brings back my whole family, and if
Mhm.
I could swap it with him, I would just if I could just feel what he felt every time he would sing,
Oh
because
wow. Okay.
when Juan Gabriel sings, you can feel it. It
Mhm.
tingles you. It just vibrates something in you that you're like, oh my god, even if nothing has happened to you, if whatever the song means or it's talking about, it's not relatable. You can feel
Mhm.
something just because
Okay.
he's a singer. He sings it. You can feel, you can hear it. I think, and I don't know how he can transform that into the lyrics and everything that he does, and how he gets to everybody.
I love that.
Young and adults. So
Yeah.
yes.
Love that. Okay.
Yes.
That's
What
a good
about you?
move.
Can I ask you back?
Ooh, that's a good question. I have not thought about that. Okay, so if I could swap my life with one,
Yes. One celebrity, what would you do?
so I think I would want to swap with Paris Hilton. And like this
Ooh.
is so like I love Paris Hilton and I've like always been like a huge like Paris Hilton stan. But the reason I say that is because Paris Hilton is a very powerful woman who is a businesswoman.
Mhm.
She is way smarter than people give her credit. Like she's played this like dumb blonde because like she has years of trauma. Like I've always loved her. She's an Aquarius also.
Oh,
She's
okay.
like there's a lot of similarities in us, but she is a very kind
Mhm.
human. She's very real. Once people get past like, oh, you're just a rich bitch. No, like there's a
Yes.
lot more to her. She's
Right.
like changing a lot of legislation regarding like those like schools that like abuse kids. Because she
Okay.
was sent away to one of those
Okay. Yeah,
schools
yeah.
and she was raped and like
I heard something
violated
about
and
that. Yeah. So she was
yeah,
pretty traumatized, and it explains a lot why she is who she is and why
yeah.
she does things how she does it. And
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And so I think she would be fun. She has a very like businesswoman side. She has her own like media company, but she's also very fun and like gets to do all these creative things and collaborate with like all these artists and just have some like really dope parties. So I think it would
I
be a
mean,
good balance.
she's DJing too,
Yes.
right?
She gets
So
paid millions to DJ.
So hey, she's making money. She's smart. She knows how to, have multiple incomes, and then it's not just
Yeah,
coming from the family name,
period.
which is why a lot of people know her for. But
Right.
she has grown into her own brand, and now she's
Right.
doing nails. The nail
Amazing.
polish, nail boo,
Hmm.
which I've been trying to get my hands into, just because my nails never grow, and I would want, I want to have them, looking nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I heard her products are pretty good as well.
yeah,
So it's not just the name and the brand; it's actually quality
yeah.
product, which is great.
One, if like any listener or you are like
Yeah,
read books, I would say read the memoir. It's
I
really
should.
good. I'm almost like 90% done with it, but like it is so powerful because it goes through all that years of trauma, and like it explains like she has ADHD and like how her brain works, and then like
Which is
it also
great,
talks
which is
about,
interesting.
yeah, and she talks about like how ever since she went through that trauma, like her mindset was, I want to make so much money that nobody will ever control me again or hurt me. And so like took that
Yeah,
trauma and used it into motivation to be like a
she,
badass bitch that makes
yeah.
hella money and like is like a brand. Like she's the first, like she's the original influencer, like she like was the
Oh yeah,
first
she
like big
started
reality
way
TV.
back.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like even her sex tape that like the guy sold, like she
Yeah.
talked about how fucked up that was in her life because like she was like, I was a 19-year-old girl and these people called me a whore, but like what about them? They were the ones that were watching my video, and like this man took advantage of me and
Right.
shared a very personal moment. So I would say like I think she would be a very like good person to really like just like swap a day with and see like what she's about, because she's like all party but she's all business as well.
Right. She's all business, all in. And she's
Yeah.
a mom as well. So
Hmm.
I mean, come on, that's a lot to take
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next question. So what if you were given a giant eraser and you could erase one fashion trend from the pages of like history? What would that be?
Crop tops.
Crop tops, really?
They don't work
Oh.
for me. They don't work with people with small torsos.
Mhm.
They just I feel like ever since I seen the meme of like you look like a Winnie the Pooh, I feel like I look like Winnie the Pooh. It just I cannot see it. And the worst part of it is that it's everywhere and you see it everywhere and it's overwhelming. I don't like it. I cannot stand it. Anything else, I don't mind it. But crop tops, I mean, whoever can rock it, good. Kudos to them, but I can't.
But
What about you?
you're gonna erase it from history for everybody
Yeah,
because you
I'm
don't like
good.
it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't think we need it. We don't need
Okay.
it.
Okay. Wow.
I don't think.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need it. But I mean, yeah, that's my opinion.
I love that. So for me, I'm probably gonna
Yes.
get hated for this, but like I would definitely erase like a lot of these younger kids' fashion that's going on right now. Like they dress como que they're like 70 years old, like with the big baggy dad
Oh,
jeans and
yeah,
like the
it's way
oversized.
too big.
Yeah. Like it just does not, it doesn't calculate in my head and I don't like it. Um
Yeah,
I'll probably get rid of that.
that's a good one, and you see it a lot, and it, yeah, that's a really it's I wonder why. Why use something so oversized and then I don't, there's got to be something behind it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, there's got to be something behind it. Of
Well, it just is not flattering for a lot of bodies, and so like
course.
it looks very like, oh, you're a 47-year-old mom, but they're really like 19, 18,
And you
so
can't really tell, when
yeah,
they're dressed like that. You're like, can't
yeah,
really tell.
yeah. All right, final one. What
All
if you
right.
discovered a hidden ancient book of spells that allowed you to have any desire fulfilled, but there would be a gruesome price? What wish would you make?
Mm, I wish people could be kinder.
Ooh. Okay.
I think we need that. We need that. We need a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of. What would be the takeaway? I mean, what would
There would
be?
just be some like huge negative consequence for whatever wish you decide.
Oh my god. We can get rid of all cockroaches. I'm good with that too.
Yeah, I like that.
Cockroaches. I don't think. I mean, I can't stand cockroaches,
Yeah.
rats, and flies. But I mean, I don't mind the flies. The cockroaches are the worst, just because they've been here and they've been through atomic bombs. I mean, ilk. They survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah.
I don't think
Annihilate
it's.
them all. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What about you?
So I would probably say I'm gonna take like the greedy route, and I would say probably give me like endless supply of money. And I say this not just for like my happiness, but like so I could really like, like so the way the world's set up is like the 1% runs everything.
Oh, yeah.
And so like the way to beat that is to become one of them and like beat them at their own game. And so like if I were able to get in a position where I had like endless money, then I would help like fund like programs and like people and like try to put money in other people's pockets so that way that like inequity gap would shrink, and so like we would
So
be
it
able
made me
to
feel
like
horrible.
yeah throw it off, and then like I would want to travel, of course. Like I would travel with all my friends, like be like, all right, y'all, we're all just leaving for a year, like let's go wherever y'all want to go,
Yeah.
so
I mean, like, you're like, I'm good with that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a
So,
good one.
you can't be too modest and be like, oh, I wouldn't use money. Like, we know that money runs the
We need
world, like,
it.
unfortunately.
And it
We
moves the
do.
world. It moves the world. And it's
Yeah.
shaping the world as well as we speak. Greedy, greedy. I think
Yeah, and it's like one of those things that's like, if you truly were like, well, I would just want to be happy, and the person next to you is like, well, I want money, guess who's going to go farther with that money? Like, unfortunately, and it's so like messed up because like I get it, but we literally all get up every day to work, to make money,
we
to,
hustle. Yeah.
yeah,
We
hustle,
hustle. It's
exactly.
literally how it feels. Like it's and like we depending on the generation that you are in, first generation of graduate, of your the first that goes through college or whatnot, your life is different too. So,
Hmm.
you know,
Yep. No one gets up and says, I'm going to get up and hustle for happiness. Like,
I
unfortunately,
would wish we all wish, right?
or if you got up and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to work the next month. Like, there will be consequences.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. We need the money. Yeah, of course. Yes. And we are all, like you said, we're not even, the gap is so far out that it's just not even, it doesn't even feel like you can reach it, or
Yeah.
with degrees or whatever you're doing, it just feels like you're never going to make it because it's just impossible. It's the 1%. And how do you get to that 1%? Is just making millions and billions. And most of them are, like you said, they're not using their money wisely, and they're just profiting and then turning the world into whatever it is that they want it to be, and
Yeah. Yeah.
for their
I
own
know.
profit, for their own,
So I had heard like a statistic, I think once from someone, and I haven't fact checked it, but I heard something about like if everyone on the earth,
Mhm.
instead of giving like Christmas gifts to people, donated money to other people that needed it, then like poverty would end. And I was like, whoa, that's
Wow.
all it would take.
Yeah, that's all it would take, and it's not that much. If you think about it, it doesn't take that much.
Yeah.
If we all could do it, and that's the thing, not everybody wants to do it. Everybody,
Yeah.
most people can do it. Most people can do it.
Yeah, I
We
don't
live
know.
in a country where we choose to help or choose to or not. So,
Yeah,
and it's how you're brought up too. You can
exactly.
help or not.
Exactly. But so,
Mhm.
moving on to you and who you are,
Yeah,
um,
okay.
I like to call you La Picarona, the queen of picaronas, the queen that makes everybody amargado.
A
So for those
happy
that
person.
yeah, For those that don't know what an amargado is, can you share with my listeners what that means?
Amargado is someone who is, I don't want to say not greedy, but someone who's always like negative.
Negative.
I think it's
Like
always
a
so
sour
negative
person?
about life. A sour person, yes.
Bitter, sour.
Yes, a bitter person, someone who just, it doesn't matter what you do to them, there's not a smile out there. And you know, being kind goes a long way. So that's why I always tell everybody, and say like, laugh, because it's a joke. Why not just laugh? Even if you laugh, a smile can go a long way, not only for yourself but somebody else. And I think it's my positive way of being like, get out of it. Stop being so
Snap out of
bitter.
it.
Yeah.
So like what? So when you post that, like, because so backstory, y'all that don't know, like, Berta will post like "Buenos días amargados" or "Picarones," which we haven't gotten into what Picarones are. We'll get into that. But what is your inspiration behind like saying those things in the morning?
Because, like I said, I'm a window washer, so I work with a lot of people, and we work really early in the morning, 3, 4, sometimes in the morning. So to get everybody in a good mood, you gotta get a joke out or something silly out or something that can snap them out of their sleepy heads. Because we do work on ladders and stuff. So usually it's my motivation for everybody in the morning, and I just share it because everybody loves it, and I think anybody can benefit from it. Of course, it's not just my crew, but I mean, and it's something positive that, like I said, I think we also need to post more positivity because we need that. We need that drive. That smile, like I said, a smile can go a long way. So that's usually my reason behind it. And then the fact that, a smile can go a long way. So if you can just smile in the morning, your day goes it's smoother, you just take life a lot less serious, and a good laugh.
Yes, I love that. And so what is a picaron?
I think a picaron, I want to say it's someone who's kinky, someone, you're so kinky, and I always post like a picture of myself. My mom always says, you have that kinky look. We all have that one look that we can. And I have not seen it, but my mom always would be like, post that one, because that one looks a little like that kinky, like, picarona, like how you are. And I'm always like, okay. So I picked the word picarona, but it came from my mom because she's like, you have that look as bien picarona. And I'm like, I don't see it, but I see it. I think I do it. And I also have noticed that when I like someone, I tend to wink. I don't know why. My mom also noticed that. So I'm like, so I think picarones, and I'm always, if I post a picture of myself, I'm always winking. So that's kind of like picarones. It's
so like, it's like mischievous.
Yes, it can be some flirtation. It could be a flirtation person. You can play around with it. It can be whatever you want.
So your motivation behind saying good morning to all the picarones, what is that?
You always, as a woman, I get a lot of DMs that you're like, ooh, like, ooh. I know which ones if I could, I will throw under the bus if I can, but I won't. So I guess, and there's always that one person who's lurking into your face, even because we all have that one person that we don't want as a friend, but we still let them be because you want them to be. You want them to be, around your whatever it is that you're doing. So I think it's always giving them like, hey, you know what? Picarones, I'm still out here. I'm fabulous. I'm sparkling. I'm doing good. And people don't like it when you, you can kill people with kindness.
Yeah, I love that. I
So
love
that's
that.
the reason behind that. Yeah, there's always a chismoso out there. So give them a little something
Yep.
to eat on, to munch
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, they need fuel to talk about you,
Of
so just give 'em a little
course,
something.
everybody. And why not? Why not? You bring it out, and not somebody else.
Yeah,
Bring it
I
out
love
yourself.
I love that. What are some memorable cultural traditions or celebrations that you remember just like growing up in your household that like are very important to you now as an adult?
I want to say the Day of the Dead. It's
Mhm.
very traditional. I picked up the whole altar and everything, but for us, we have a traditional food or meal that we prepare. That it's pickled veggies and my grandma used to make it, and my mom makes it now. I know how to make it, and it's just coming down the line, the recipe, and we always did it. And it was followed by 4 or 3 other days of whatever the other meats or whatever meals that we would have. I mean, we still do it as a family.
Mhm.
Even if we don't do it together, we do it at our own house, and we still
Mhm.
do. We still keep it going.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Do you
Love
guys
that.
have one? I know you guys are big on Halloween and everything, but like,
Yeah.
do you have something like growing up? Because
Yeah.
it always brings the family together. For us, it was
Yeah.
always making tamales, and there's
Yeah.
the assembly line that takes
Yeah.
to make a tamal. It's assembly line. Everybody has
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
So
No,
for
for us, I would say, like Christmas Eve, we celebrate Christmas Eve as Christmas Day, so the 24th, and so that's always been like a family get together. We open some presents at midnight on the
yeah, I was gonna
24th.
say,
And then like for Christmas we do like panes con pavo, and so that's always been
we
like a tradition. Like you make your little tortas out of turkey and the sauce, and like like my mom's even taught me how to make it. I probably don't remember how right now, but
it's
like
a
it's just
recipe
like
you got to write down.
right,
Yeah.
right. So a lot of that for us, Dia de los Muertos, I think for me as an adult has become more of a holiday that I've wanted to adopt. I know that in El Salvador, they call it Dia de los Difuntos, and like they would celebrate it by going to a cemetery and honoring the dead there. But like now as an adult, I've kind of like I'm really just intrigued by that, and I love the idea of like um, honoring our ancestors and our loved ones that have passed. And so like last year was the first year that we made an altar. And this year,
Oh, I
unfortunately, because of the wedding, we weren't able to. But
see.
I definitely would like to continue that tradition.
Oh, I think it's awesome. I want to go. I want to go to Mexico and visit.
Yeah,
What they do, because they're same as we also we have an altar that we do at home. It's not as big as how they do it in Mexico, but we still have it. I have adopted the altar and everything that I do at home, but I think it's an amazing tradition that it should be kept in the roots and the
yeah,
family.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
How do you think your family's values and traditions have shaped your identity as like an adult?
Very much so. My mom. I want to say I was. I grew up with my uncle who was very strict. So I had to get up in the morning, and I had to do chores, and then I had to go to school, and after school I had to do my homework, and it was very structural. And because of that, it now that I'm an adult, it has shaped I have structure everywhere at work. I don't answer work calls after 5 o'clock. I
Love that.
respect that you need to have that.
Yep.
Mental health, space for yourself, and I still have it, and I love it,
Yep.
because if you don't as an adult, if you don't have it, you don't have it. It's so hard to pick it up as an adult. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I was instilled with it when I was growing up, because it definitely changed my life. I mean, you can
Yeah.
be unorganized so quickly, and you cannot, and if you don't have your your day schedule, you don't get to do anything.
Right.
For myself, I know that if I have a schedule, I need to be somewhere. I got to go somewhere, And if I don't have that, I can just be like, oh, I can do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
It will just take days. Procrastination is easy.
Yeah.
Comes in handy when you don't have structure. So
Yeah.
I think for me, structure. Yeah, definitely. And I have
Yeah.
kept that along this. And I don't think a lot of kids have that nowadays. They can do whatever, whenever. And as a little girl, I couldn't even, if I wanted to speak to an adult when they were having a conversation, I need to ask for a word and be like,
Right.
"Excuse me, may I please have the word?" And you needed to be dying for you to be doing that, because other than that, you should not even be with adults. That's how I
Yeah.
grew up. So,
Yeah.
the moment you ask your parents, like, "Are you dying?" Because literally, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. So it was very strict in that sense, but it allowed me to have a childhood as well, because I was never with the adults. I never had to be with the adults. I was always with the kids, so I had a childhood. So
Yeah.
I was thankful that
Yeah. They protected it for you.
nowadays everybody brings their kids to the adult parties, and you see kids laying around on chairs and sleeping on chairs. And I mean, I did that when I came here. My parents said that, but when I grew up, I didn't have to. So
Mhm.
it's different.
Yeah. No, it really is. And I think that that's, it is just like a testament of the time, because like my mom, she wouldn't go out. She didn't have like her own like life, because she
Right.
was like, I'm going to raise you as my kids. I'm going to give you my energy, my time and everything.
Devotion.
Hmm.
Devoted
Hmm.
herself to her kids. And so she literally did, I bet she didn't have a life, and it was all about you guys, and that was
Yeah.
it. And then
Yeah.
after that, then she started thinking about herself, but
Right.
later along those lines, right?
Yeah. Period. How do you balance your social life with with the demands of being a successful businesswoman?
Okay. Like I said, structure comes back to structure. I have come to that conclusion because I was the person who would just answer calls whenever. And I started educating my clients. It all started with me. I don't answer after 6, and they would be Berta, or before 8:30 in the morning. You can blow up my phone, it doesn't matter. I know I'm gonna lose a lot of clients. Maybe I know I might lose a client or two, but my peace of mind, my mental health needs to be there before anything happens.
Yeah.
So I have to say, a schedule. I have a schedule, and I respect it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't answer phone calls after 6 or during the weekends or holidays unless it's an emergency. You can be available to your clients, but you're not their servant. And people,
Exactly.
like I said, you need to educate your clients. I have fired clients as well, because they think that just because they have money, they can treat you
Yep.
however they want.
Exactly.
Also a thing, I started firing my clients. You get to a point where you can do that.
Yep.
It takes years, but you get to a point where you can do that, and you start changing everything. You start changing who you are as a professional. People love you because they know that they can call you. You are available, but you also have a life.
Right.
And I don't work on weekends. It's I have changed the schedule so people actually have lives now. My
Yeah.
parents were like workaholics, and they still are. It's hard for them to. I got my dad is semi-retired, but even to get him to that point was so hard because
Right.
they're just workaholics. That's all they do. That's all they think about. My mom is the same. She's still working. She's like, the moment I'm not working, what am I supposed to? She's cooking. She's making meals. I
Yep.
mean, that's
Cleaning.
how they are. Yes, that's how they never stop. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and when that happens with us, we feel guilty about it because we're like, I
Yep.
have been in the situation where I'm like sitting at home and I'm like, everything is good. I don't need to do anything. Why do I feel guilty that I'm
Right.
not doing anything? But it's
Right.
ingrained in ourselves that you always have to do something. You always have to
Hustle.
be available to people. That as a woman, you need to always be there. And no, I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm only human, and I can only do so much. And
Right.
you also need to speak that out to people, your clients and your employees, especially your employees, because without them, there's no company. So
Right.
it always starts with employees. Then you educate the clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah. No, not like it's funny that you bring that up because like Jacob and I were literally just talking about how like we look up to you because like your statement, I fire my clients, like that is so real. Like you don't owe them anything, like you are providing a service, they're paying for the service, but they still have to respect you and respect the boundaries you have in place. You're not going to go to their house and tell them what to do with their house and how to like live their house or how to live their personal life. No, you're exchanging a
A
service for
service.
money,
Exactly.
and that's what it is. And so like, and it goes both ways. Just like they can fire you if they don't like the work you're doing, you can fire them if you don't like the respect or lack of respect
Or
that they're
lack of the
giving you.
respect, which there's plenty. You'll see it and you'll still see it. People will exploit you if they can. People will not pay you if they want to. And if you do not step up for yourself, nobody else will. And if they do it to you, they'll do it to somebody else, and that's not fair. You
Right.
know, it's a fraud. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yes. How do you infuse your sense of fun and energy into your business life or business endeavors?
Oh, okay. One thing about I think you about my job is that I love what I do. So I think when you love what you do, it's not a job anymore. It's you. It looks like you are having fun. For myself, and and I'm a professional. I've been doing this for so long that I make it look so easy that you're like, oh my god, I can do it, but it's so hard. Of course, I make if if I wasn't a professional, I wouldn't be making it look so easy.
Right.
So I think that loving what you do, that it just means there is no stress.
Right.
I don't have the stress. I'm also my own boss, but there's a lot that comes with that, and it's not just
Right.
like I can fire. It's you need to be a responsible person, but I think that when you love what you do, you just naturally comes out. You're not stressed, so that's a
Right.
huge thing. You love you create your own environment, and so
Right.
if your environment is not good, and we are with the same crew for a long period of time, then it's horrendous. You don't want to be working with someone you hate.
Yeah.
So you also have to find people that love what they do,
Exactly.
because it's not just about cleaning. It's about going out there and doing it. For myself, is doing it once because I don't pay anybody to do it twice. They don't pay me to come out and clean the windows twice. They're paying a
Right.
professional cleaner to come and do it once, get in and get out. That's what we
Right.
do. We're in, we're out, we're
Right.
quiet. There is no music. I am super quiet. I'm always listening to my podcast, and so I'm in my own zone, and I create the same environment for my employees. So
Right.
it, they're not stressed out. You don't see us yelling at each other, which is you see a lot in crews. You have your own
Mhm.
crew. People are yelling at each other, like, oh yeah, and the music is so loud, and you're like, oh my god, this is a chaotic place. And so I think that I created an environment where people do their thing. They go
Yeah.
in and do what they have to do, and they're out, and we get paid.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I also have to say that because we do love what we do, and it comes in and it shows. You're like cleaning, and it's not like you're being extreme about it, but you do detail work when you love what you do.
Right.
You're
Right.
more detail. You're like, I don't like this. I want to do it this way, and people see it. You can see someone who knows who's doing their job. You're like, oh my god, this person loves it. And
Right.
sometimes people think that you're overcharging just because you don't make it look like it's hard, but it's hard work.
Right.
Super underpaid. Underpaid. Sometimes in our job, a lot of people are like, oh my god, you're here for 2 hours. And I always tell them I do not charge by the hour. I charge by the job. I come in,
Right.
and the last crew took 3 months. My crew takes 2 months. And it is how it is. I run the show. Let me run it. I'll run it differently.
Very good. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
So
that.
I think it's definitely if your environment is not it's not allowing you to feel comfortable, then try to change it around because you're going to be miserable and you don't want to be
Right.
miserable at your job.
Right. I think one saying that I've heard is like, love your job and then you'll never work another day in your life.
Yeah.
And
There you
so
go.
that's the motto definitely to aspire to.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. And then just final question. Um, were there any specific roles or expectations within your family that you found particularly significant or challenging?
That I had to take like ask it again. Sorry. Say it again. Ask me a
Uh,
question. Let me take it in.
uh, what are some lessons or values from your Latino upbringing that you find yourself carrying into your adult life and decisions?
Mm, Feeling guilty about not doing anything. I
Yeah.
think it like I was telling you, I was ingrained as a Latina that you always have to be busy, you always need to be doing something, and then you never put yourself first. And I think up until I started my healing process, I then started doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. Love that. You
yeah,
got to learn to set those boundaries for yourself, especially within the families too. There's things that we don't learn that we're like, oh, okay, that's not how that's supposed to be. Let's look at it from a more healthy point of view.
absolutely. Yeah, and I think once I noticed that, I was like, I need to change that around because we need to feel comfortable that we are not doing anything. You're okay. It's okay
Yeah.
not to do anything.
Yeah.
If that's what you need to do, you need to not do anything.
Exactly.
Do you
All
have one?
right.
Do you have one? Because this is not, I think this is more like a female perspective. So as a male, do you have one as well that you're like, oh, I don't know, that you see it a lot? Because I see it a lot in Latinas that we still do that. You know,
Yeah. I think. I
you
mean,
feel guilty about something.
I think for me, I mean, I think that that's the one that does that definitely crosses all genders. I think is the idea of like, no seas huevo and don't sleep all day. You better be working. Like if you sleep, you're lazy. And so like even to this day, I have issues with like going and taking a nap if I need it. Or like if I don't feel good, that's really the only time I have to feel really sick to like go lay down. And like Jacob's like, oh, you must not be feeling good because you're laying down. And I'm like, yeah,
You're like,
that's
and it gets to the, you're like, you're literally, you're dying because
yeah,
you're not going to say you're sick because you can always write it out. You can always
right,
get it out of your system. You can never be, you're never allowed to have a sick day,
right,
let alone a week or 2
right,
weeks. Think about that. 2 weeks.
yeah,
I'm not taking 2 weeks off, like being sick. And sometimes you need 2 weeks to actually take the whole I mean, I take a day extra on vacation just because you need
yeah,
an extra day after a vacation
yeah,
and you're tired. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
so,
Exactly. No. And like that's the thing with like COVID, it was such a weird thing because I was on quarantine for like 10 days and I was like, what do I do with myself? Like it was just like I felt like I was not being a productive member of society because I was just like not doing anything. And so
and
yeah,
then
that's
literally the entire world was in the same shoes as you were. And here
I
you
know.
are feeling guilty about it. I felt the same way. And I was like,
Yeah.
I actually, when it first hit, they closed down, we weren't sick. So we got sick before that. But
Um,
unfortunately, but I felt the same way. But I think thankfully, I had therapy. I started therapy before COVID hit it. So
um,
I had my therapist online, which
yeah.
was amazing because I could channel and talk everything out because we were everybody was closed down and nobody could
Yeah.
go anywhere. So having technology was amazing. Having my therapist available was also amazing.
Right. That accessibility really was awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, now the final game that we're going to play is called Song Association.
Ooh.
So for this one, I'm going to give you a word and you're going to have 15 seconds to sing a song that uses that word in it. And so you can, if there's a Spanish, like if
Version
the
of
word
it.
is like, yeah, if it's in Spanish, you can do that, but it has to use that word in the song.
Do I have to sing it or can I just say it?
You have to sing it.
Oh my god. Okay.
This is your American Idol moment.
Oh
So,
my god.
all right, let me see. Let me pull up the list. All right. The first word is bounce. 15 seconds for bounce. Go.
Bounce, 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 bounce. That's a techno one, right? Does that?
I don't know. What song is that?
Oh, maybe it's not. I thought it was a bounce, bounce. Was it a Black Eyed Peas song? I kind of want to think. Maybe, maybe, or maybe not.
Let me look this up. Hold on.
I think
Bounce.
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 Yeah, I feel like there's gotta be. I've heard it somewhere. Probably one of those. YouTube maybe. Let's see in YouTube.
I don't know. There's a few that say bounce, but I don't know if they're like.
And it's a techno. I think it's a techno song, so it's probably like a mix. So it's probably it doesn't even count then.
I'm like I can only see like rap songs that say bounce.
No. But I see bounce. No. Yeah, you're right. It's probably some another word, and I thought it was bounce. That happens a lot, right?
All right, second word
Okay.
is kiss or beso. 15 seconds, go.
Besándome otra vez, suave, bésame, bésame, suave, bésame otra vez, suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez.
Wow, okay.
I got the dance on.
Another one. I love that. And I just thought of the song for bounce. I thought of one. It was like, you know that song, it makes me wanna bounce. It makes me wanna bounce.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
All right. The third word is high, like high in the sky. 15 seconds for high. Go.
God. I can't think of anything.
Come on.
I can't think of anything right now. I feel like I got a brain fart.
All right, time.
What about you?
So,
Can you do it? Yeah, can you think of
sugar, 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 you get me so high.
Oh, that's sugar, how to get so. Oh no, that's what. This is me mistaking the words because the song that I'm thinking of is fly, and you're thinking high, and you're saying high. The word is it the same guy that I'm thinking?
Frankie J.
Yeah, and it's sugar, how to get so fly, like guapa, like so hot.
Oh, you're right.
So this
but then another song that I thought about was I was gonna go to class, but then I got high.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I be changing the words sometimes too.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Like, that's not the lyrics. I'm like, it is in my head.
Yes.
Let's see. All right. Fourth word is touch. 15 seconds for touch. Go.
Touch your body. I want to say this is on touch your body. Touch your body. It could be in Spanish, right?
Yeah, time.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you were singing the song that I was thinking, but like Mariah Carey had that song "Touch My Body."
Not that one, but I think that's a good one. That's a good one, and it's Mariah Carey. It's just phenomenal.
All right, fifth one, body. 15 seconds for body. Go.
Cuerpo. Wow, I'm bad at this. Cuerpo. I can say a word in Spanish. What cuerpo? Wow, it's such a good word. It could be used anywhere. But go. Sorry.
I just said the touch my body. So
that's what I was like. I probably heard something. I could have used that one. As if there isn't a ton of them, right?
Final one is heart or corazón. 15 seconds, go.
¿Quién me va a curar? ¿Quién me va a curar del corazón partido? ¿Quién me va a llenar de primaveras este enero? ¿Quién me hará ¿Quién me bajará la luna cuando no, cuando nos queramos, I've got something like that. That's a song though.
Love that.
Okay. Do you have one?
I think of the Black Eyed Peas, Don't Funk With My Heart.
Okay.
No, don't funk with my heart.
Yeah, yes.
Or Selena Gomez has that song, What the Heart Wants.
Okay.
That's a good one too. Good job. You definitely gave us some good vocals though. Like, it doesn't matter the score, you just like gave some solid vocals. So
and a little bit of the dancing of it.
Yes. So as we wrap up, what is the future for Berta looking like? What are you looking forward to in the next few years?
Definitely, professionally speaking, I want to expand the business, but I'm also ready to pack and go, and I can move my business anywhere. I'm at that point where I think that I can do it if I want to do it. Like I said, I have the equipment, so I know that I can market myself fairly easy anywhere. Yeah. That's professionally speaking. Now, myself, I don't know. I want to keep learning about myself. I think that just finding more about myself and taking this time to actually be independent and then it comes with a lot of things, and I guess just enjoy this time that I'm living single and ready to mingle and ready for love, of course. My heart is still it's still there, and it's stronger than ever, and I'm open to love however it comes. Yes. I'm not like closing myself down to it or off from it. I'm open to it. I'm more cautious about it, of course. Yes. But I think just learn more about myself, of being more aware of it. Because I think that, like I said, this radical awakening just brings so much that I'm like, I felt like I was sleeping for so long, and then now I'm like, now I buy it. I'm like, oh, now I see what people like about me, and I love that, because you need to have the time for that too, and love yourself. Why not?
I love that. Well, Picarones, you heard it here. If you go to picarones.com, picarones.com, click on the little blue OnlyFans symbol with Berta's face on it, and you could win a chance.
For the pearls, right?
Yeah. So
Picarones.com.
Yeah, Picarones.com. We're gonna market that website.
There you go. We should.
Yes. Listener, if you haven't done so, please go and rate this podcast. Give us a 5-star rating, and if you give us a 5-star rating, you may enter in to win a chance to date Berta. If you don't give us a 5-star warning,
we can totally do online. Yes, it doesn't matter. Whoever online the listener is, wins the raffle.
If y'all want send any questions or any voicemails, go to our Instagram. It's Giving What If, and you can click on the link in the bio. You can email me at itsgivingwhatif@gmail.com. And stay tuned. We have an episode every other Wednesday, and this has been such a special time, Berta. I really appreciate you for making time for today and sharing your life with our listeners.
Thank you so much for inviting me and being so amazing. You're an amazing host. You said you make me feel comfortable, and I love it, because it can be a stressful timing. Not everybody likes to talk and open up, and I think it's a safe space, and thank you for having a safe space to open up. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Of course, listeners, we love you, and please stay tuned. Bye.
All right, bye.
It's Giving What If.